Over $41,000 for a new client inside of our advertising agency using new strategies. It's not very often that things change in a big way, but over the last 6 to 12 months, there has been some huge adjustments inside of the e-commerce industry. So if you're drop shipping, if you have inventory, if you're running Facebook ads, and if you have a Shopify store in general, this is going to be the video for you, breaking down this super cool marketing strategy that we've been using and crushing for clients, making a pretty consistent 25+% margin for not only our own stores, but also for clients inside of our advertising agency. So the example that we're gonna break down today, I'm gonna screen record in a moment and actually go through how to run these ads. I'm gonna break it down step by step for you, but this is for a client inside of our advertising agency. We work with about 35 different brands actively on a monthly basis. And if you are someone who either wants help starting an e-commerce business, if you have nothing, no experience, we can do that for you. Or preferably, if you already have something going, making sales, we can help you systemize it, build a real company, and scale via paid marketing on platforms like Facebook and TikTok. Over the last couple weeks, probably 4 weeks now, about a month, we have just officially started implementing TikTok ads for a percentage of our clients. Not every client is going to be able to do TikTok ads because it's a little bit better for a younger demographic and a more specific product type. However, that's something new that we've been adding into our agency from a results perspective. It's been generating some crazy numbers, adding on an extra 15 to 20% in the top line revenue, which is great, and the margins have been super good. So if you want to get any information on our advertising agency, you can go ahead and fill out the quick form linked at the top of the description. You can jump on an absolutely free call with our client manager who oversees all this stuff, so they can give you all the information. And the way we structure our agency, like I mentioned before, is a little bit different than others. Instead of charging you 10 grand a month or 15 grand a month to run the ads, which at the end of the day, it's a business, we have to have that money come in some way. What we do is we take a little bit of a hit on the front end. We charge like $1,500, sometimes $2,000, $3,000 a month in a retainer, depending on what we're doing, depending on the store, the sales volume, and then we take a percentage of the profits. So as a company, our only way that we make money is if our clients make a net profit that is higher than the base retainer they're paying. So that's kind of how we structure things. Again, you can get more information of that on the phone call. So go ahead and click that top link in the description here, and you can go ahead and fill that out as we're watching this video. So I want to jump into the computer here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start over here. I'm in an extra, just a blank TikTok ad account. And I want to talk about this. If you have ever run Facebook ads, you know that this looks very familiar. This right here is pretty much the same exact thing, just with less conversion events and less, it's a little bit different name. Like they have their thing they call consideration. They change things super slightly, but it's a 99% mimic of Facebook, which is a good thing. Now, there's two things when it comes to TikTok that we do a little bit differently than Facebook. We have to go broader for a few specific reasons. Not only is TikTok such a new platform that they don't really offer very much detailed targeting, you're gonna see that here in a moment, but it's also a slightly younger demographic. So we're just trying to capture that whole thing. It's not as defined of an audience in terms of having hundreds of millions of people of all ages. There's a lot less people who use TikTok, and those people are typically under 35. Yes, there's many outliers and many exceptions, but on Facebook, you got very full audiences in every single age category. TikTok, that's really not the case. You don't have many people 65 plus using this, whereas you have tens of millions of those people over on Facebook. So it changes our approach a little bit. So we just kind of approach it from a broader perspective because we sort of have to. Now, it's also a little bit different in terms of the product. So like I mentioned, not every client inside of our advertising agency, if you're a client inside of there or considering becoming one, we're not just going to be running TikTok for everybody. Just like how we don't run Facebook for everybody. There's some clients we turn away and some clients where we'll just do Google ads. And we don't do much Google ads inside the agency, but it's one of those things where it depends on your product because you have to find the right audience. And it doesn't necessarily mean that your audience is on TikTok. So for an example, right now on TikTok, I actually can't really run ads for my main brand. For other stores, yes. For my main e-commerce brand, it's not really beneficial because it is such a boring evergreen product in the health space that really, even on Facebook, almost all of our purchases, like 75% or so, come from 35 years and older. Well, on TikTok, it's the reverse. Most people are 35 and under. So it hasn't really been very profitable running it for my main brand, but it's been crushing it for certain products for other clients and other stores that we have. So it's just one of those things to keep in mind. And I guess like they say here, to keep in consideration. All right. So You're probably gonna be running a conversion event. This is very similar to Facebook. There's not a lot of differences in terms of their platform structure here. So let's continue on here. What I'm gonna do is just be kind of running you through all of this, just like how you could name your ad set or your campaign inside of Facebook. You can do the same thing up here. Go ahead, you'd be selecting your pixel. TikTok is a pixelated ad platform, which means you're placing a tracking code into the code and the theme of your website, your funnel, your landing page, whatever you're selling online, wherever you're hosting that landing page. And ultimately, as you're driving traffic, they're gonna build, and by they, I mean Facebook or TikTok or Google, whoever the platform is, that pixel is gonna collect data. Who's going there? What are their age? What's their location? What device are they on? Yes, iOS 14, or whatever the thing is, iOS 14 is changing a little bit. Makes us go a little bit more blind because they are starting to pull back on some conversion events. However, nonetheless, you get a bunch of data, and that data as it collects actually helps you because now the platform knows who your customer is. Once 150, 250 people buy, they have enough averaged out data to say, okay, this is who this person's customer is. And then they can help target more people like that. That's really beneficial. For placement down here, just like Facebook, you can select where it is. Now, this placement's a little bit different. We're not talking about the desktop versus mobile. This right here is going to be TikTok, their newsfeed app series, and Pangle, whatever the heck that is. What we do, we don't ever touch these other two. I've tried it before. It didn't add anything to the results, so I really just wanted to keep it on TikTok because that's our main focus. So you can continue going down. User comment. Users can comment ads on your ads on TikTok. We actually usually like to turn this off just from an ad perspective. It's very rare that you'll get a super positive feedback. Now, if you have a killer ad, if you put a lot of time into a super creative ad, that's sick. And you could probably leave the comments on and see if that helps generate some organic engagement because people will like that. As for a download, in my opinion, I've sat down and tried to think about it. There's no benefit to letting people download your ad. The only thing that's gonna happen is your competitors, if they end up stealing your ad, they're gonna get a crystal clear image because they directly downloaded it. And that's a problem. So you definitely wanna make sure that you're avoiding that. I would just, again, turn both of those off in the most standard situation. And again, over on the right, take a look at kind of estimated audience size. This has been growing a lot. When I first started running TikTok ads 5 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever, this number was a lot smaller because there was less users on TikTok. So those audiences are getting bigger and over time they will change. But your custom audiences, if you have any, those are gonna be in there. You can exclude them as well, just like Facebook. Location, they don't have as many as something like Facebook. There's really not that much. But you go ahead and easily do the US and Canada. Those are two high quality audiences that are known to be in what's called the top 5. Now that means the top 5 English speaking, high income earning, known to convert in terms of online sales, the top 5 countries. And that would be the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Now, New Zealand's a smaller one, but that is still a part of the top 5. So if you want to target the top 5 or the top 4, you can just exclude New Zealand in there. And those are really good audiences to run over on Facebook. Now, they're a little more expensive, but again, that's quality, and that's usually where most of your purchases are going to come from. Okay. Over here, just like anything else, male, female, you can set none of that if you don't want to narrow it down. Usually we don't, unless the product is super specific, like could only be used by male or female. And again, I know we're getting a little bit technical with all this stuff. This is like all the stuff that we do for clients. Our clients don't touch the ads. If they want to, they can run ads, but it's like we can handle all of this for you. We have spent millions of dollars backing our systems and backing and testing our theories on what we're doing with the ad platforms. We're very experienced with that, and we handle all of this stuff for clients. So they're not in here every single day doing all the technical stuff. So again, that's another benefit to our agency. However, the age limit, we're not really setting ages on here. Now, it's a little bit different in terms of the category grouping versus Facebook. You have 13 to 17, that's very similar. Notice how they ripped the exact strategy that Facebook does. 18 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, they're just ripping these 9-year categories, and 55 plus. So on Facebook, you have up to 65 plus is that. So there's one more bracket. I guess they made it a little bit different, probably so they didn't get sued or whatever. But that's very similar age structure. We're usually just selecting none. And then for languages, no limit. We're not going to be touching that, especially because we're not targeting any crazy countries. And then the interest. Again, this is where things are slowly getting bigger and you're actually getting access to more targeting. Now, TikTok is still very broad and it doesn't give you a ton of options inside of here. Compared to Facebook, this is nothing, but you can break it down. Travel in general, that's pretty general. You could add in other things if you want. Usually we're just doing category by category for each campaign. But both of these options down here are new. With adding behaviors for the video interaction, you can just start to get a little more specific, but it's usually not something that is going to be adding much benefit. So again, we keep it super broad, at least on the first one. Define how they've interacted with creators. They followed them, view their profile, whatever, you're probably trying to sell something, not use TikTok ads to gain followers. But there's a lot of different specific things you can do on here. Again, just like Facebook, you can break it down a little bit based on the device. We've seen no benefit to this. Just like on Facebook, many years ago, we used to start with getting a little bit more narrowed because we know that iOS is a higher quality traffic source, just in terms of the numbers. It doesn't mean there's not people on Android that are not going to buy, but usually iOS is known to be a much higher quality traffic source. It just is what it is from a statistical advertising edge perspective. iOS is better. But we're not breaking that down because we want to keep it a little bit more broad. So if you see, as we're on Android, we just narrowed from 17 to 21 million, okay? From like 100. Now, if we go over to iOS, you have 44 to 53 million. So it's much larger. We're still going to capture both of those and be in a much larger spectrum. So even narrowing for travel, we are now at 61 to 75 million people, okay? Connection type. This is really interesting. This is a strategy that I used to prey on a little bit and utilize over on Facebook, but we don't bother touching it here, and I don't even touch it over on Facebook anymore. If you want, you could only target people who are connected to Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy. It's like an outside targeting. It's not a behavior, it's not a demographic. It just means they're connected to Wi-Fi versus being on their phone service plan. And the reason that this would matter at all is if you want to target people when they're at home versus out and about. And there used to be a little bit of benefit in theory and ideas going around like, oh, well, if people are at home, they're just chilling, they're moving slower, they probably have the time to look at your ad and buy your product. They're near their wallet, their credit card. It's something that I played around with. I think it was more a placebo. It used to maybe get better results, but I don't think it ever changed much. But we definitely do not touch that at all. You can get any more specifics on what's going on like carriers. Budget, at least 20. I would be bumping things above that, beat out the minimum bids. I'd be doing 30 plus, 30 to 50. Keep things pretty simple. But again, you can go ahead and figure all this stuff out. And there's just like small things to run. It's really not that complicated. We do talk about TikTok ads inside of our e-commerce program because it's something we're doing more and more of. And we will definitely be adding some more videos into that section for TikTok ads as we continue to spend more money there. We haven't even spent, I don't think we've spent over $1 million yet on TikTok, which I know $1 million is a lot of money. We spent, whatever, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, but it's not, it's nothing compared to Facebook, and it's still a lot less than Google as well. So it's still a new platform. It's still something that we're working on, we're learning. We're going to be adding more examples and stuff into the program as well, but it's something we are full-fledged doing, and we have multiple TikTok-specific media buyers now inside of our advertising agency. So if you want help running TikTok ads and Facebook ads, potentially doing both of those combined or one or the other, again, whatever's best for your product, we can help make that decision with you. But that's something that we do as we partner with people inside of our agency to run their ads, but not just the advertising. We assist with if you're having disabled ad account issues, you need payment processor referrals, you need a good supplier, you don't have any industry connections, we can help with all that. We help systemize that entire business so that we can scale it with you. And again, we're taking a percentage of that, so we basically become partners. So there's a lot of fun stuff to apply for that. You got to fill out the quick little form that is at the top link in the description. It's absolutely free to do that, and then you can jump on a free call with our client manager, ask questions, pick their brain on like what clients get the best results, what types of products. You can go ahead and ask them all those questions because they see it for dozens and dozens of clients over and over. Some who do $200 a day, some who do $35,000 a day. That's over $1 million a month. So we have clients on all ends of the spectrum. We do a lot of things from starting from scratch all the way through starting to scale something that is already working. So some people come to us doing, in one situation, about $60,000 a month, which is not bad, but within 30 days she was doing on track for over $1 million in the next month. So pretty quick scaling, but we got to build up the systems first and do a lot of stuff on the back end in terms of hiring people for customer support, making sure your order fulfillment's good, payment processors good, ad accounts are good, all that fun stuff. We assist with everything. So again, just click that top link below. It's absolutely free to go ahead and talk to someone inside of our advertising agency. And if you have any questions about what we talked about in this video, the TikTok strategy and getting the crazy results, this client doing $41,000, that's so cool because not only is it a nice consistent growth as you see on the chart, but we're mixing in 2 platforms now. And that, I don't want to say it doubles because Facebook's much bigger, but it basically doubles the opportunity to scale up further because now you have 2 traffic sources we can run. So we're opening up to more things and we're scaling the agency and doing a lot of fun stuff. So if you want to be a part of it, again, click that top link in the description. Make sure to drop a like on this video if you got any value at all. And with that being said, you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.